The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hi, and welcome back to another fabulous, wonderful holiday family edition of The Gaze of Our Lives. My name is Sean Connell. I'm the president of the Fall River Pride Committee, and I want to introduce my two fabulous guests with their fabulous babe here. But I will let them kind of introduce themselves, and then we'll get talking about families and holidays and all that good stuff today.
So I'm Alyssa. This is our daughter, Olivia, and this is my wife, Kristen.
Hi, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming.
Of
so,
course.
for those of you guys who don't know, I've actually known Kristen for years and years.
Oh, yeah.
I thought today would be a good day to talk about actual LGBT families, right? I think that there's a lot of things in the news right now that are very discouraging around LGBT rights and LGBT families. So I wanted to give an opportunity to kind of showcase a beautiful LGBT family who I know personally and love dearly.
Thank you.
So we'll start with, some basics, some fun stuff. How'd you guys meet?
Our story's complicated, but
You
we
can
met
tell
at work.
as much or as little as you want, just to kind of intro ourselves.
We won't go too far into detail, but
she can see it on YouTube later in life.
We met at work.
Yes.
We were both working in the event industry, a place called Exo the Girls, which was in the city, doing decorations for events and weddings. And she worked in the back, I worked in the front, and I saw her, and
Love
that
at
was
first
it.
sight. I don't know what else
Literally.
to say.
Who knew that actually existed, but it did.
Wait, gays can be in love, let alone love at first sight?
I know.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
knew?
Wow.
Who knew? Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to make sure people really kind of understand that it's almost like LGBT people meet in the exact same ways heterosexual people
Yes.
meet.
Of course.
That we form families in the same exact ways, right?
Exactly.
Because I want to talk a little bit about the ways that LGBT people form families, right? Because I've heard a lot recently around how any type of LGBT family is an abomination. And I really think that is a disturbing thing.
Yes.
Because I part of why I want to have you guys on the show today is to kind of normalize the fact that LGBT families, we kind of form ourselves in the very similar ways of any heterosexual people, right? But when it's two dads or two moms in a family, that's not lewd, that's not pornographic, right?
No.
So if you want to talk a little bit about how do you bring a baby into the world without a man? How could you possibly do that?
I know, it's so impossible, right? Well, for us, we chose to do it at home. We got a donor through a sperm bank, had it mailed to us, dropped off by FedEx, and we didn't want doctors involved. We wanted to have it as personal as possible, and we were
This
able
way
to
I
do a
could
home
feel more
insemination.
involved, too. And it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a blessing, actually.
So talk to me, how did you guys come to the decision and process to decide to have a baby?
So, I mean, from day one, we always said, we want kids. She had a stepdaughter from a previous marriage. She never had a child of her own, and it was something she never really thought about. And we met, and it just kind of became a conversation. And for 2 years, we talked about it. And one day, we just said, now's the time. Let's try it.
It's like you go online and look at a catalog and you figure out what you
We
want.
literally went shopping for the perfect donor to make a baby.
But it's nice for, people to donate for that reason. And to be able to have those options is very, it's awesome.
Well, that's that's something I really want to kind of zero in on here, because I think people need to understand, right? It's like, oh, well, why would you donate sperm, or why do we even have sperm banks and all these things? Because it gets into that question of, like I said, abomination or it's unnatural. Yeah. But I mean, look at these little blue eyes. I can't even stand
she's
it.
not looking at them, but she's got some bright blue eyes.
She's got some baby blues, and she's just the sweetest, right? And I think that it's really important that we have conversations like this about what it is like that LGBT parents, once we've kind of created our family in our own ways, that it's just like being a normal parent. So talk to me about how's it been with baby Olivia? How's it been being new parents?
So far, it's been a whirlwind. She's 5 months already. It's gone by faster than I ever imagined. I mean, not much sleep, but for the most part, she's an amazing baby. She's good all day long, has fun, she's smiling.
It's like
she's
you're getting used to a new
over.
person,
Yeah,
like
we're
you
learning
just got to
her.
learn the way and what she wants and doesn't want.
But it's been great because, I mean,
been awesome.
we have couples who all were pregnant around the same time as us, and they were straight couples, gay couples. So it's been great. We've had like a little mini family, and she's got best friends that are all a month apart from her at this point. So it's been fun. Right? Yeah. We're not doing it alone. We definitely got a village, that's for sure.
It's not easy to do it alone.
No. Yeah. No. And I think that you should hit the things I like to hear too, that concept of a village and community.
Yep.
Yep.
Because LGBT people and LGBT families, we're just a part of the community as anybody else.
Exactly.
Right? We form families in slightly different ways, but it's still the same kind of families. It's still the restless moms. You haven't got much sleep. You have a 5-month-old.
It's true. I mean, I was raised by a single mom, so I didn't have that conventional family. Yeah. I was raised mostly by my grandparents. So I didn't have a dad, and she doesn't have a dad, and we're just fine. You know, it works.
She has a donor.
It works. She has a donor. Yeah.
And she's a happy baby.
I mean, and see, this is why, like, I could just stare at you guys for this entire 20 minutes. There's still stuff I want to talk about. Because this is my whole thing with this, is I think that people really have got to understand that, like you just said, and there was actually a statement that Pride Committee made recently in the wake of the Club Q shootings. There's been multiple death threats around drag story hours, people showing up armed to drag shows. There's a lot of this kind of anti-LGBT hate to the point where the Department of Homeland Security actually has recently issued a domestic terrorist threat level that is in place until May, right? And it might even continue after that through Pride events. Yep. So I think it's really important to kind of show that we don't have anything to hide, right? That we are just a part of the community as anybody else. We have kids. We we lose sleep when our kids don't let us sleep. Yep. Yeah. You know, we are able to, we're married, we're in love, we have all of these kind of things. Yep. So I just want to kind of give you guys an opportunity to talk about what have some of your experiences been, both positive and negative, with people out there. Like what have you kind of experienced?
So even before having a baby, we always run into oh, is that your husband? Is that your boyfriend? No, it's not. And we make it clear. We're not embarrassed to just kind of roll with it. We make it clear. And even now it's, oh, the dad. And we get that very, very often.
We do.
Like almost on the daily if we're out in public. So that's been, I mean, other than that, I mean, the whole hospital visit, it was perfect.
Oh, yeah. They were very supportive.
We didn't run into any issues. They were very supportive. Yes. It's becoming more normal.
And we just surround ourselves with family and friends that are supportive. Yeah. If they're not, then, they're not. But thankfully, everybody we know is. Yeah.
Because even now, like, we were pregnant with a transgendered couple that we're close with, and we're surrounded by so many different people all day long, and she's known no different, and it's just.
Children don't see color and all that either. They just want love. Yep. That's like all it is.
Yep. But I mean, we made our own family. We have friends who are her aunts and uncles, and her godparents are best friends of ours. It's, it's our normal. It's our normal, and it's becoming more normal. As much as people don't see it that way, but it is becoming more normal. And
again, like I have a lot of other couples on here too to kind of showcase the fact that we are just human beings, right? We're somebody's brother, we're somebody's sister, we're somebody's sibling, we're somebody's friend, we're somebody's teacher, we're somebody's parent, we're somebody's child, we're somebody's grandchild, right? So there's all these kind of things that I want to bring to the light, because when people are really protesting us, when this anti-LGBT rhetoric has really grown a lot in recent months, we need to showcase who they're fighting. Yeah. They're fighting people like us. Yeah. Right? They're fighting families like ours. Yeah. Right? And because I want to go back to a little bit here with the whole mother-dad thing, right? Because this is the big, I think, a linchpin for a lot of people. Well, a baby has to have a mother and a father, right? How does that make you guys feel in that way?
Me, it's never been something I've experienced in my own personal life. So to me, this is no different than me being raised by a single mom, her having 2 moms. She just got a bonus with having 2 moms. You know, I was raised fine. To me, I didn't know normal was a mom, dad, if you want to call it normal. I didn't know what a dad was until I was in kindergarten and people were talking about their dads. So for her, thankfully, it's more normal now. So when she goes to school, there are going to be those families where it's 2 moms, 2 dads, 1 mom, 1 dad, So I think she's going to experience a lot more than we did growing up, because it wasn't more normal.
No, it was definitely not. It's more well-rounded now, I believe, but there's still issues, like you just said. I'm just hoping to raise her to be one loving person and to, I don't know, just accept as it comes, really.
Yeah. She's distractingly cute, I'm sorry.
She is, though.
I should be like, I can't with you, you're so cute, it's ridiculous. Yeah, you. Yeah. Where's your fabulous moms? Yeah, so because I want to talk to Kristen too a little bit here because like you're the dad, you have to be the dad, right? Because you look more like a boy.
And even on her birth certificate, she's listed as father.
Yeah, they don't
Really?
like change
Yeah. Tell me about that.
They don't change the title. So
They do not.
where it says father's name, it's my name.
Yep.
Which unfortunately, you know, does suck. And even the process of not just being on the birth certificate, I also have to go through an adoption process with her.
Yeah, because right now she's
Interesting.
only her parent in Massachusetts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Talk about that. Yeah, so I actually don't know that process.
When she hits 6 months old, we actually have to put her on the missing persons list to see if anybody claims her.
Even though we went through a donor.
Even though we have paperwork, we have everything to prove how she came about.
She has to be on it for at least, I believe it's 30 or 60 days. She has to be on it.
And when it's not, then I can go through the process of adopting her. So this way, outside of any state that's not legal for marriage, I can still be her parent.
And we also ran into this issue. I mean, Sean, you married us.
I did. That's actually true.
Yeah,
It is true.
we wanted to get married no matter what. That was the thing. But in order for her to be able to be listed on her birth certificate at birth, we had to be married. So it did bump up everything for us. We got married with just us and you and a photographer.
Yep. It was a beautiful day.
I wouldn't change the way we did it.
But if I was a male,
it wouldn't have mattered. Whether we were married or not. Yeah. She would have been on that birth certificate, no problem. But without us being married, she could not be on it.
Yep.
So that was something we had to jump through.
That's rough.
And so I mean, we had our baby shower, and a week later we got married.
I was there for both of those actually.
That's very true.
I was a little late to the baby shower. I tried. Okay.
Yeah.
Fashionably late, Sean.
Fashionably late is just who I am as a person. You guys all know this about me. But yeah, so because I didn't even realize that that's like how that process even works. That
we didn't either until looking more into it.
And I spoke with friends of mine who have been, you know what, we don't need shoes where we are.
Shoes right now.
But we had to speak with, families that we knew that had been through it prior to, and it opened my eyes more because I didn't know that was something that had to be done. And for me, I didn't feel comfortable if anything happened to me in childbirth, not having her on a birth certificate.
Exactly.
I wanted to know our daughter was going to her mom, if need be.
And that wouldn't have been the case if I wasn't.
Yeah.
So if you guys weren't married, that would not have been allowed.
She wouldn't have been anything to her. She would have just been another person, and we would have had to go through family, and her family wouldn't have counted either as an option.
No.
So,
yeah. See, because I think that's a really kind of important take, because people talked about that the Senate and the House actually just passed protections for gay marriage and also interracial marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't think people quite understand the history there, why that matters so much. Because if you look at signs from the 1940s that were anti-interracial marriage, you could take those exact same signs around how it's unnatural and it's an abomination. And you can apply that to the same things that we saw with LGBT marriage, right? That it's an abomination and it's wrong. So I don't think people quite understand how important it is to kind of protect that.
Yeah.
I also want to note here that at no point in any state that has gay marriage, as we pass it now federally, was a church forced to do it, right? But there are churches that will marry LGBT people.
Yes.
Oh, we have a point for that. Not for marriage, but when you're all set, we do have something with a church.
Oh, I love that. Okay,
Yes.
So we'll get into that, right? And so I think people really kind of have to understand that this debate is still evolving, and it is important to pass a protection like that.
Yeah.
And it's weird that there's almost this legal, like you have to put her up as a missing person when the donor donated.
Yep.
Right? Donated to
And
a
I made
sperm
that
bank.
very clear. I said, I have paperwork proving I didn't just go and sleep with a man, or I didn't go and steal somebody's
But again,
sperm.
if I was a male and went through the same process because, I couldn't produce,
If you just say you're infertile
it
or
wouldn't
whatever.
matter. It's only because I'm a female.
Yeah.
That is,
It's mind-blowing.
That's really wild. And this is why I'm really happy that you guys are willing to talk with me about this, because I knew a little bit of the process.
So willing to talk about it.
I want people to understand that, all you wanted to do was build a family, right? To start having kids.
Exactly.
Not that you aren't building a family, because anybody can be a family.
Yep.
Okay, internet, relax. Me and my cat are a family, right? But when you're in love and you're married, you want to start having children and things like that. So I want to give you also the floor before I forget too. Talk to me about how it went with the church.
So I was raised
churches.
Catholic. I wanted her baptized, and we were running into a lot of issues as far as finding a place that we could. Yeah, tell them about it.
Tell me, please give me your song.
So we were running into that issue for a little bit of finding places that wouldn't even answer emails back for me. And that was with Christian churches too, because we felt we were going to have to go to a different religion at that point.
You were saying in the emails I am a lesbian couple.
Yeah, I made it very clear from the
definitely.
get. I said, we are a same-sex family. I know this might be an issue, but we really want our daughter baptized, and we did find a church in Fall River with the most welcoming offices of people that were just like, we want your family here, and we're trying to make a change, and we want a diverse group of people in this church. And at this point, there has been a friend of mine with her daughter and her wife that had her daughter baptized. Then we're going, and we have friends after that, and it's evolving, luckily. And she said, you know, I have a daughter who's non-binary, so I understand, and it's becoming a thing. So at least we were able to find a place and not be excluded, and that was great.
You want to give that place a shout out? I don't know.
St. Mary's Church.
St. Mary's.
Yep, on 2nd Street. Yep.
They're very, very welcoming.
The second I walked in. They
they
were like,
they want to open their arms. Is what
they
want
were
to
so
try to
excited.
do. Yes.
And this one was obsessed with them. She just stared at them the entire time. So.
Oh, with those baby blues that just absolutely.
I know.
You. I'm trying to have an interview here, but you're so cute.
And this is nap time, and she's doing very well.
She's doing great.
Amazing. Because I you know, recently when we had our drag queen story time last month, and we also have another drag queen story time coming up December 10th at the Fall River Public Library at 10:30. When I was at the last one, you know, there were a few protesters there. And part of what the protesters were doing is like, oh, well, we're trying to save your souls. Okay. That level of because as LGBT people, we're immediately damned to hell. Yeah. Right? There's that idea. But like I was raised very spiritual. My mom was a Southern Baptist, right? Yep. My brother is a born again Christian. We have a lot of that kind of faith within our family. And it's wild to me that people would want to say, oh, well, I'm going to save your soul, in this way that they don't even see how pious they're being and how offhanded that comes off. And in front of children. And in front of kids.
That's what drives me crazy.
Yes.
You want to say stuff to me, that's fine, but don't do it in front of kids.
Right, where we're trying to read, because, you know, there's still that whole drag queen story times porn and all of these things. It's not what it is. We stream it live. We show you the books we have, right?
I've watched it. I've watched you stream it. I've watched it personally.
Yep, we have.
Yep.
And so I think it's really important to kind of have these conversations, because other than being same-sex, you guys have gotten married, right? Under the state and under God.
Yes.
You guys want to get Olivia baptized, right? You guys are just raising a family, your friends and community. I can't see at any point that God would hate that.
Exactly.
Right? And if there are people within the church who also can see that we're all beings of God, that we're allowed to kind of have these things within our families, that there's two moms or there's two dads, a grandparent raising grandkids, you know, single parent households, different forms of guardians.
Exactly.
There's actually a big push right now, I'm really happy to say, within DCF and foster care, that there's been a lot of push to help LGBT kids who are in the foster system. Right? Because we are here and we do exist.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I think, what's that?
We're human beings.
We're human beings, right? That's
just like anybody else.
So that's really kind of the point I want to drive home. But then we are up against these little things around like missing persons. Because let me get back to that for a second too. So like what happens if someone or the donor or anybody tries to make a claim during that time? How does that work?
They can't.
They can't because of the paperwork too. What they go in signing before.
They're voluntarily donating their specimen. There's no connection. I know what I know from the internet about this person, and she's never gonna have a chance. It's not like the movie where you see, you know, the sperm donor ends up with 100 kids and he meets them all. It's not like that. It's a closed shut case, and you never learn anything.
And they're only allowed so much into certain states, and it's like the way the whole process is different. Like we read up a lot about it and looked into it before even deciding, or before even, you know, knowing what we wanted to do.
But like she'll never learn a sibling of hers, if you want to call it that. She'll never know of anything. I have a stack of paperwork and it's got medical information and genetics. That's what she'll find out at some point. Yep. You know, if she wants to dig further, I don't think she could if she wanted to because of his privacy. So
it's closed on that end, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of mind blowing for me to that you have to put her up as a missing person.
Yeah. I had no idea.
That's like a linchpin for me, because it's one thing to, you know, have to go through paperwork or whatever when you're doing a donor, okay, but the missing person thing.
That's where it had me too.
That I don't mean to giggle, but
I got thrown back too. Like I have to what? Put her on where?
And
even though you guys are married and you guys are married, you guys were clothed, you were on the birth certificate. It is still this kind of
lovely.
If we weren't married, it wouldn't have even been an option to do the adoption.
No.
Because that wouldn't have been legal.
It wouldn't have been legal.
And there's different states that also still don't allow LGBT adoption.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
As far as I know.
There is some, yes.
Catch up on my,
No,
on my politics.
Because they do ask like what state you're from, you have to get permission, that kind of deal.
Yeah. But we had looked into foster care. If I wasn't able to get pregnant for any reason, we were already looking into the foster system. And that didn't seem to be an issue for us. Even if we weren't married, we'd be able to be foster parents as two singles, you know, living together in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So that wasn't an issue, but the actual adoption part of it, we had to be married in order to adopt.
Yeah. Because they want to challenge, you know, if any government official happens to watch this, I really want to know why the missing persons thing.
I know.
Like, because it doesn't make any sense.
And even myself, I own my own business. So when I had her, obviously I'm not collecting any kind of maternity leave or anything like that. So I did get some financial assistance. And in that process, they were trying to do child support. And I said, there's no one to chase for child support. I went through a donor, and I was still getting mailed to my house information to try to get child support from a donor that I have no access to.
And obviously the donor was never going to pay child support. That's not a thing.
Exactly.
That's not how that works.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the donor wanted to be able to help people who are in fertile problems, LGBT couples.
And many of those donors, because you get to hear their voices, you get to read all information. Some of them were, you know, students at the time offering to help. Some of them were widows who already had a family and they wanted to help others, or were married currently with kids and just wanted to help people start their family because maybe they had trouble starting a family. So there was all walks of people. It wasn't just people off the street. It was married, widows, and single people. It was a lot of different people.
Yeah, who donate for different reasons.
Exactly.
And I think on the same side, right, there's also, because on the other side, so to a male couple, if they want to do surrogacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? People are like, well, why would anyone want to do surrogacy and how that's so unnatural? And I'm like, none of this is unnatural. Like the process of making a baby is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like growing a baby and having somebody for 9 months, birth, all that stuff. It's a lot, you know?
Yep.
It's a lot in any situation, whether heterosexual or homosexual. It's just about trying to make love happen to create life.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Tell them,
There's a lot to say about this.
Very vocal.
Tell them, and you know, whatever day she's watching this on YouTube when she's older, she can remember.
I had something to say.
You know, something to say. I know, because now she's just starting to look like she's getting a little sleepy. It's okay, we only got a few minutes left, so I just want to touch upon the head. Guys, look at the little hair.
Her hot head now.
So I got some.
I just need like 1 second because I can't. She's cute. I can't. Yeah, you.
Hi. I know.
Right. So I challenge anybody to watch this video, to watch you guys, to say that you guys are not some of the most incredible
Or that she's not
parents,
a normal baby.
That she's not a normal baby with her little blue eyes, her little grunts, keeping you guys up all night.
Yeah.
We even have a gay best friend who said, you know, if she came one day and she found herself and she was like, I'm a lesbian. He's like, it would be tough because it would look like, because we're lesbians,
We made a gay baby.
that we made a gay baby, and that's not what it is. Like it's.
Yeah. And it's true. Unfortunately,
who
that
you
might
are.
be something we get one day.
Yep.
Or if she decides, you know, I'm not meant to be a female, I want to be a male, is that going to come down on us because we're gay parents?
Exactly.
That we made our daughter want to be a son? You know, is that something? And I'm sure down the road it's something we may have to deal with. Right?
That is, yeah, because that is, I've I have again been out in the community and doing these things, and I've heard that, right? That actually, I was told that most gay people are made because they were sexually molested.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how that works at all. I'm like, there are tons of heterosexual people who've been victims of sexual abuse. That's not how that works.
Yep.
I had heterosexual parents,
Yep.
and I'm me.
Exactly.
Right, so that's not how that works. So, but I do feel like that might be something that you guys might have to deal with. Like, oh well, you're gay, so you're raising a gay baby, or all that kind of those kind of stereotypes that people really, they almost don't want to understand. They want to kind of cast us in this way in light. Yeah, you're just hanging out with us now. You're just hanging out. Yeah, we're just hanging out.
She'll just stare you down.
Just distracted you with thoughts and just stare me down and I can't. I just melt. I just totally melt. You just melt. You do. You melt me. Okay. Yeah, because that's the last kind of point in the last few minutes we had here that I really wanted to kind of drive home. That LGBT people are not going to exclusively raise LGBT people.
Exactly.
Right? Straight people do not exclusively raise straight people.
Exactly.
That's not how any of this works, right? And there's all that debate about where does being gay come from? Is there a gay gene? Is it nature versus nurture? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where it came from, right? Because what matters is we are here now, we have the love, we form our families, and that's what it should be, right? So I want to give you, in the last few minutes here too, I want to give you guys a couple of opportunities to kind of want to talk about anything that can maybe help any parents, any newborn parents, anything you want to talk about with, or offer to our the LGBT parents who might be watching.
Yeah.
What are some of your final thoughts here?
In all honesty, if there's anyone who reaches out to the show or you personally that is like, I don't know where to start, give them my information. I've become that contact person for a lot of our friends that are just like, what do I do? I don't even know where to start.
Even heterosexual couples, they've come and asked, like, because we're a few months ahead of them or whatever with our baby. We're here to help each other. That's it.
We're all raising a baby.
And we're very open about our process.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Oh, to strangers on the street.
Whoever.
How did you do it? I will tell you exactly how.
When I first asked you guys to be on my show, I was like, are you guys cool with whatever questions I ask? Because I want people to know that this process isn't, it's not abnormal, but it's different.
We were going into the place and I was telling the doctor, I did your job.
Yeah.
And he was laughing. He was like, this is great. Like, he was so open and loving about it. Like, from the beginning, we've had no issues.
I know, we've been that lucky couple. You know, we haven't had a lot of issues running in when we've hit rude people that have negative things to say. We've been very, very lucky, and I know not many people do have that in their lives, so we are a support if anyone needs it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we'll do baby play groups. We don't care. We are an open book, and we love helping people gain families, or, you know, if you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you need a mom to talk to, I'm there, because I'm texting my friends. It's okay.
You made her furious. I know.
Mom's got the food, that's why.
Mom's got food.
Yeah.
And I can have a whole segment on breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah. If you ever do, call me.
Oh, my God. It's one of the most natural things, right?
It's okay.
Mama.
I know, Mom.
It's okay. We're almost done.
We're almost done. We're just wrapping up. So, yeah, so in my last couple of minutes here, I just want to just kind of always plug for some of our events coming up. So the Fall River Pride Committee, we have our potluck coming up on December 15th. Yes, December 15th, Thursday, December 15th at Recreation at 6:30. We are also launching our Safe Spaces program, which I think is something needed now more than ever for LGBT youth ages 10 to 24. Where we're doing LGBT programming in groups. We launched that with Rent Movie Night. You guys will be more than welcome to come. I know it's a little bit later in the night too. We're having our social hour 6 to 7, and we watch the movie 7 to 9 on December 16th. Next Friday already.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Oh, it goes really fast. No, it's crazy. And then, of course, we also have Dinner with Santa Recreation this Friday, the 9th at 6 p.m. We still have tickets. You can go to 45 Rock Street or give us a call. But yeah, I want to thank my guests here so much for showcasing that we're just here. We're regular people. We're 2 moms. We got 2 dads. We're
all as exhausted as
the
straight couples.
As any straight couple. We breastfeed. We have our own challenges. We have our own things. We have our own unique kind of principles, but we're here to stay. Yes. We're here to raise our families. We're not recruiting. We don't have to recruit children. We can make children of our own. Right? That we are here to kind of be part of the fabric of community.
Exactly.
So thank you guys so much.
Of course.
Thank you to FRC Media for having us, and everybody have a fabulous holiday. And I always get to make the joke that I will see you next year.
That is true.
That's true.
That is very true.
In a couple weeks.
So fast.
It's going, I swear, having a baby, it goes even faster.
Yes.
I remember marrying you guys yesterday.
Yeah, and that was back in April.
It was April. It was 7 months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Already.